All right, open your dialogue script and as usual, print it out if you can. In part 1, we're going to go over how to ask someone what they're called and what someone else is called. Oh, nahoda yazayats. Loosely, we use that to mean what's your name, but it actually means what do they call you. And you answer that by saying your name and then yungyats. Garakwahawi yungyats. So you could introduce yourself that way to anybody. You could say, Sego, garakwahawi yungyats. Next, I state that I know Jeff or Grunohiwage, gunyanderi, as in, I know you. In part 2, we begin to use our other new verb in a more useful way. Sayanderi ga onka ok nene ailiza guaryundajets. Do you know someone who was called Elizabeth? So we're using nene in there as well. And that's a very useful particle. Ha, kayanderi onka ok nene ailiza guaryundajets. Yes, I know someone who is called Arizagwar. Ichenderiga ne giegan rungwe. Yah te hienderi ne tegan rungwe. Nikji wagaderi andereji sawadis rungwayets. No, I don't know that man, but I know that he is called John. So, we see here the two kinds of knowing at play. I don't know him, as in I'm not personally acquainted with him, but I have the general knowledge of what his name is, or rather, what they call him. So in English, we'd have to use tone to differentiate between those two meanings of knowing. We'd say something like, I don't know him, but I know who he is. Or, I don't know him, but I know him to see him. So, although it's tricky to get the hang of using adere andere and yandere, it's a little bit tricky to understand the difference between those two things, but it's a lot more precise than in English. Next, in part 3, we're using saha and saha jiniotne. Otnahoda saha senuas, dagos gadon erhar. What do you like more, cats or dogs? Saha genuas ne dagos, jiniot ne erhar. I like cats more than dogs. You see, the saha, the more, is the most important information, so it goes first. And that's the thing that was being questioned. Which one do you like more? However, you could also answer that question by saying, Dagos saha genuas jiniot ne erhar. I like cats more than I like dogs, versus I like cats more than I like dogs. There is often more than one way to construct your sentences. Doskeka, is it true? We can also use that to mean really. Unka saha senuas, ii gadunwari. Who do you like more, me or Mary? We're using the question who, unka. And then you see how that word unka is used with the word uk or yah to mean someone or no one, as in yahunka saha dekenuas jiniot nize. This translates as nobody more I don't like than you. Now, if we reorder the words to make more sense, we end up with I don't like nobody more than you. But we know that in more proper, plain English, we'd actually say I don't like anyone more than you. So I hope that you're starting to see that going through this English translation thing is a great exercise, and that with time you'll understand a sentence like that without having to go through all the steps.